Hi guys, and welcome to Kaede Kisaragi looks over Big Bad Beetleborgs. So here's the thing. I believe myself to be a very understanding guy. I understand that YouTube's usually a bit problematic with its content ID. But the thing is, that is usually something I can deal with. If YouTube says I'm using audio or video, I can find a way to bypass that. Respect the limitations I've got placed on what copyrighted material I can use. I mean, this is the whole reason why I've been doing the looks over videos using only still frames. But last week proved me that that's not enough. You see, 3 of my 4 videos on the series have been copyright claimed by Hasbro. Manually. This isn't the Content ID robot acting. This is someone from Hasbro looking at my silly videos that barely get any views and deciding that all ad revenue should go to them because I'm still using frames from their material without a hint of audio or video clips. I mean, I can't exactly argue that I own the still frames, right? And I don't really get any ad revenue yet. I'm just a small-time guy producing videos in the hopes of amusing people while offering my opinions and commentary in a show I loved as a kid. Because of that, I decided to continue the series anyway. I'll likely end up with all of the videos copyright claimed, unless Hasbro decides I'm not worth bothering with. But as long as none of them land me a copyright strike, I'll keep on doing them. If anything, it might draw more attention to people to check out my Twitch streaming or my reaction videos, who knows. But I will be trying different formats of editing, trying to figure out how to use still frames in a way that Hasbro leaves me alone. So, with all that out of the way, let's take a look at episode 5 of Big Bad Beetleborgs, The Treasure of Hillhurst Mansion. We open on the cemetery where these 2 delivery men are bringing in an arcade machine that apparently was ordered by the Magnivores, even including instructions to knock on the grave. Turns out Noxic placed the order. Black Dude here is the most chill delivery guy though, insisting they get paid for the delivery by the creepy monsters and even stating he is less afraid of them as they are of his boss if he don't get paid. So they end up hauling it away. For once, Black Dude don't die first. Jara and Typhus are angry that they aren't gonna get the arcade thanks to Noxic, even pointing out how they are monsters. They don't have any reason to own money. Noxic suggests that they should be bad guys and steal the money they need from humans. Which I find funny, because none of the 3 thought of just stealing the bloody arcade machine. In Hillhurst, the kids are contending with Flabber, who seems to be sick and having caught a bug. Or arachnid. Said arachnid apparently is Fungulus' pet, in a random what the fuck moment. Flabber's sneezing also causes all sorts of wacky Photoshop effects on the guy. He pulls out a hanky to blow his nose, only for the kids to notice that it sorta resembles a treasure map. This gets them excited since they could find a treasure and become richer than Van and Trip. Flabber is very excited himself about the idea of getting rich, but before they can even check the map, the monsters all show up, interested in the map. Mums claims it's a treasure buried by the former owner of the house. Roland uses his super speed to unwrap Mums and snatch the map back. At the comics shop, the kids have gathered supplies they'll need for their treasure hunt, but Van and Trip arrive. This scene also shows the inconsistent writing for Van and Trip, because Van gets mocked by Joe and Trip laughs at him as if he was, say, the skull to Van's bulk. Problem is, the rest of the time in previous episodes, Trip acted like he was the brains of the outfit. While the kids boast how they'll get richer than the 2, Trip spots the map hanging from Joe's backpack and snatches it. Noxic elsewhere is literally mugging some guy. Said guy happens to speak in terrible voice acting, by the way, not even trying to match his mouth movement to what he's saying. After snatching the pants off the guy, he realizes this might not work out the way he wanted it, and as luck would have it, He spots Vaughn and Trip discussing how they'll find the treasure before the kids. I kinda like the fact that Vaughn actually brings up how they're rich and don't really need treasure, and Trip's only reasoning for finding it is that if the kids get as rich as they are, there goes the neighborhood. Jara shows up in the hideout with a piggy bank she stole, but Typhus doesn't think 14 cents make for much of a fortune. Noxic brings the news about the treasure, saying that they can find it while the kids are busy facing one of their monsters. At the mansion, Joe realizes the map's gone, but also that Vaughn and Trip must have stolen it. All that is put to the side though as the monster rises up from Roland's comic book, appearing outside of the house. The mean green cannon machine. Now this is the classic monster design, just a big robot with rocket launchers and guns. Awesome! Also, interesting that Drew can not only recognize him, but name the exact issue of the comic book and its powers. Which makes sense. If the kids are big Beetleborg fans, of course they would know all about the bad guys and how to beat them. The three transform to deal with him, who apparently decided to attack a junkyard nearby, neatly transitioning us into Japanese footage. The fight here is awesome, just a straight use of B-Fighter fighting scenes, with very few edits to it beyond the comic book effects placed over it to make it more child-friendly. Vaughn and Trip are on their way to the mansion, complaining over and over to Dudley to speed up and complaining that he's going too fast when he does it. Only it's not Dudley, but Jara, who demands the map. The two give it to her and run off, leaving us to wonder what exactly happened to poor Dudley. The Magnavore jet fighters come in to join the fray, and the kids summon the Beetle battle base. Again, changing how they do it. This time only raising their hands like they are summoning the Megazord. Consistency. Thy name is Beetleborgs. As the Beetleborgs AVs drive off to battle, crossing through the city and nearly running over citizens, I once again wonder whether the people in this town are still unaware that comic book heroes are fighting in real life around them, or if it's still a secret. Then again, if Sunnydale can blindly ignore vampires and demons, who am I to judge? The AV battle is a lot cooler than the ones we have seen so far. I mean, the monster actually attacks the giant vehicles! And we also get some cool dogfight-like sequences with Joe's AV dodging jet fighters through a canyon. Emerging from the AVs, the kids summon forth their weapons, and each one gets their own chance to shine, as Roland tosses the monster around with his claw, Joe lifts and electrocutes the monster in the air, and Drew just jumps in and slashes away at the guy, delivering the finishing blow. The monster flies off, returning to a comic book that this guy was about to buy to his kid. Also, check out the King Sphinx head from Power Rangers in the back. As Noxic leads the other two to hunt the treasure, Typhus points out that he's been holding the map upside down, and that the treasure is actually inside the house. Flabber, however, doesn't let them in through the front door, slamming it in Noxic's face. Just as they consider going through the back, the kids show up to make them return the map, with a little help from Flabber and the monsters. Back inside the mansion, the two groups fight over the map, but naturally end up ripping it in half. Deciding that if they split the map, they can split the treasure, they join forces to try and find it. The map leads them to a chamber in the house and a riddle. 2 chests. Pick one, but pick wisely, or you get no treasure. Drew, being a bit of a troll, asks Frankie to say which he would pick, and goes with the one he didn't choose. As the kids open the chest, they discover glowing slime is the treasure, which the kids obviously don't want. The monsters rejoice over their newfound gooey wealth. The ending credits is a reuse of the credits from episode 2, with the statue antagonizing Frankie and Fangula. Nothing to say here. So, that's our episode. Does it hold up? Well, yeah, this one was fun. My main complaint over the last 4 episodes was the lack of action, and this one really delivers. Nearly zero original footage, plenty of action both from the Beetleborgs and the AVs. The Magnavore trio remains very ineffectual as bad guys, but at least they can provide some cool monsters for the Beetleborgs to face. The Hillhurst monsters continue their love and hate relationship with Flabber and the kids, and that's always fun to watch. One thing I would like to comment on is the kids and their powers. See, when I was watching the battle, where the three face off one at a time against the monster, it kind of occurred to me that the kids' civilian powers don't match their Beetleborg forms at all. Hear me out. Jo should be the one with telekinesis, because the Striker Blaster lets her lift the enemies off the ground. Roland should have super strength, because all the Japanese footage as well as his using the Hunter Claw show him to be very strong. And with that we could lift Drew with super speed, and match that with his using a blade weapon to quickly slice and dice enemies. If you liked this video and would like me to continue producing this content, consider subscribing to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment. I love to reply to comments. And when we next return to Beetleborgs, we'll finally have the debut of the 4th monster of Hillhurst. I'll see you guys then. Bye bye!